Nation, let's exceed! Turn it all down, yeah! The aftershow begin, our soldiers got the spotlight! We're giving never ends, passion under passion! The topics to explore, on it cannot dorm the sound to enter! In the world we know, we're breaking through the noise! Till the fire is light, with James and culture's voice!
Ho, ho, ho. Merry New Year's, everybody. Welcome to the last after show of the year, officially, as next week is the start of 2025. My, how time flies. We are, of course, happy to be bringing you official recap of 2024. You don't have to listen to anyone else, and we'll just chat a little bit, talk about what to look forward to next year, talk about some stuff we missed, some stuff that happened this year across pop culture and gaming. Because we got to get the J Shock Blast official reaction to the Superman trailer, of course, as well as the trade the Lakers just made.
I almost sent you that. I saw something on Facebook. It was like some guy complaining that the Bucks were like the worst team in the league because they double teamed Ben Simmons like on the last play of the game. They double teamed Ben Simmons, who just easily lobbed it over to Cam Johnson, who hit a 3 to win the game. And there's like, why are you doubling on Ben Simmons in 3-point territory? Let him take that shot. I don't know. It was funny.
I don't think they're statistically they're not the worst team, especially in terms of rank, but they are one of the worst coach teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more what they were implying, but yeah.
Doc Rivers has historically one of the worst coaches to ever win a championship. Might be actually the worst coach to ever win a championship.
Yeah, I lived through it. I can vouch. That team should have won 3 championships. It's a joke.
I'm trying to think of a worse coach. I can't think of a worse coach who's won a championship in the last 30, at least 20 years. Like the Spoelstra, great coach. Mazzulla is good. Kerr's good. Popovich, Phil Jackson. I'd say Larry Brown is a better coach than Doc Rivers. Larry Brown would be up there. Larry Brown, one of the worst coaches of all time.
Yeah. To address the Patriot questions in chat, not only did the Patriots lose, which I wanted, but the Giants won today, which means the Patriots went from having the number 2 overall pick to 1. So right now, as long as we lose next week to Buffalo, we have the number 1 pick. And that's, if we're gonna suck, you might as well suck the worst.
Yep, so that's right. Yep. If you're gonna suck, do it efficiently.
Yeah, you know.
Be the throat goat if you're gonna suck.
Yeah. So man, I don't know, man. I can't stop playing Marvel Rivals. I just can't do it.
I know. As much as you rage, I applaud you.
It's funny. Like I feel like I've raged the worst just playing as Thor and Wolverine. Like I was actually embarrassed in my Wolverine stream. I made it members only. I just
those are two of the, because those are two characters that require more so than most, I think, you to have a good team, as well as like
patience,
a very specific understanding of how that character is supposed to play and executing that game, especially Wolverine, because Wolverine, if they don't have a tank and you're not playing in the Wolverine's role correctly, he's the worst character in the entire game. He's utterly dog shit useless at everything except for shredding enemies with high HP. Like if you can master the Pharaoh Leap, which has completely ridiculous hitboxes and definitely needs to be fixed, and just capture the enemy tank, you can do it. You can do it.
You can't judge off Caboose. Like Caboose is like, I've watched Caboose play and like he makes it look easy, but like it's so, I used to think Thor was the worst designed character. It might be Wolverine, especially when you watch what like Wolverine does what or Iron Fist does what Wolverine should be able to do. And it's like mind blowing how they designed him the way they did. You know,
Which is funny that because currently the best Wolverine in Marvel Rivals, his name's Team Captain. He he actually at one point was the #1 ranked player in the entire world.
oh yeah.
He actually was challenged by Necros because he's been shout out to Low Gang, but he was trying to fight the stigma that Wolverine's the worst character in the game. And he told Necros, who's one of the top players, he's actually the top Spider-Man player. He told him to change his tier list, and Necros told him, if you make rank 1, I'll change my tier list, because I think he put Wolverine like near the bottom or at the bottom because he said he sucks. So he so Team Captain actually hit #1 in the world on Wolverine, just one trick in Wolverine, and I think Necros, his new tier list, I think he put him in A tier. Yeah, Wolverine is very much the definition of a one trick. You have to patiently hunt the opposing team's tanks and be able to expertly tackle them into your own team and absolutely shred them. Because even if Team Captain, even just watching him play his actual matches, not just the highlights, Wolverine is a completely useless character if they don't if he's not shredding tanks almost.
Yeah. I know I play very aggressively. I'm like, my mindset is always on point, and it doesn't matter which character I'm playing. I could be Thor, I could be Moon Knight, I could be Mantis. I'm always trying to be on point, making sure that we have it and take it, like, or move whatever we got to do. So I'm not. I know that a lot of the things that I do wrong are just going in when I'm under supported, and I have to be a little bit more patient, and I understand that. And I also, like, if I fuck up, I will be the first one to say, that's on me. I couldn't handle that myself. But
Yeah,
I don't know, man. There's just something. I was playing earlier, and there's like a Luna standing right next to me, just shooting at people, and I'm like, I don't usually use the prompts, but I'm like spamming healing. I'm at 50 health after like running away from the point that I had just held and lost, and like literally runs the other way. I don't know why. Ran back to spawn basically. And I'm like, why are you even playing Luna? Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
you're not healing. I'm like literally standing next to you needing healing.
Yeah, I had a couple. Usually, it's Jeff players that are like, if I'm playing quick play and someone plays Jeff, I usually try to lock Cloak and Dagger or something, because 9 times out of 10 they're not going to be providing enough healing. Because I think Jeff in the current state of game is pretty mid tier at healing. Like he's if you know what you're doing with Jeff, he can be okay. But even then, like the biggest thing about Jeff right now is just taking advantage of the broken hitbox of his ultimate and just throwing people off the map.
Right.
But outside of that, like, it's so easy. It's so Jeff's actually pretty good as and most people aren't playing Jeff this way, but Jeff is probably better as a third healer. Like if you have Luna and Mantis, or Adam and Mantis, or Cloak and Dagger, and you have a Jeff as a third healer, I think the way to play Jeff there is to actually use him as a flanker, because he's almost impossible to kill when he goes underground.
Right.
It gives him healing. It's hard to hit. He's fast, and he can actually really sneak up on you, and he does a lot of damage. So if you have the power up with Luna, I think the great way to play him is to just flank the other team and use the Luna team up to like pick their characters off without them suspecting, and then just run away because there's nothing they could do. Because in terms of main healing, like he can piss all over the field. His bubble is actually really good, but it's so easy to out damage his healing, as opposed to like Cloak and Dagger or Luna or even Mantis. That like if I see just like a Jeff trying to carry on heals, I know it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I and Eastwood's like, I didn't know Eastwood was so sensitive. Like the way he's complaining about me calling for heals. I will say Eastwood is a very good healer. He does a very good job. But like I think
he's a
I'm
sensitive
also
boy.
kidding.
He's a sensitive boy.
I think we're both busting each other's balls right now, but I will say, like, the way that I play is I do call out for healing when I need it, but I'm also like just calling it out, and I don't like mean it as like, oh, you fucking suck. I just mean it like I need it because I'm on point or whatever. So it is what it is. I feel like I'm just competitive. I just want to win. I just want people that are playing the right way, and
But you don't want to play. But you don't want to actually play comp, because then it gets really sweaty.
Well, that's the thing. We did play comp. We actually went in last night. I think Eastwood was with me for that.
You finally played rank?
Yes, we actually. I think it was me, Travis, Eastwood, Elijah, Marsh Bubble, and we had one other person. I forget who it was, and we went in our first game and just rolled them. Okay, it was crazy. We just rolled, and I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe this won't be that bad." I think this is a good group. The next game we played, we like barely made it out of spawn. Okay, and it was very clear we were playing against another group of 6, and then we like left that game and like waited for a minute or two just to kind of regroup and whatever, and then we went back into queue, and they matched us with the exact same team. And I'm like, there is no way these people are all in this tier. Like, that's crazy. Like, and they were playing all the cheap players too, by the way, like, and playing them very cheaply. So
you mean they were playing a meta team of good characters that most people agree are good,
sure.
and playing them optimally?
Yeah, I mean,
so I'm guessing this was bronze.
yeah.
So I'm guessing they were playing what, Hawkeye Hela for DPS.
They had an Iron Fist. They had a Star-Lord. They had a Groot with a Jeff, and I think they had a Punisher. But I don't know.
They weren't even playing meta. They were playing Noob Stompers. Okay. I thought they were playing meta. They weren't even playing the meta. They were playing Noob Stompers. The only meta characters there are like Groot and Punisher, and they're not even like S tier.
Right. Oh yeah, they had a Doctor Strange.
The Doctor Strange is the best tank. So that makes yeah, I thought it was going to be. I thought you were going to say like, oh, they had Hela and Hela, Hawkeye, and Doctor Strange and Mantis are probably the most banned characters once you get to I think it's Diamond or Grandmasters. When they allow you to ban characters. Get to they I always see Hawkeye, Hela like instant ban. Doctor Strange gets banned all the time. If team captain is playing, they ban Wolverine. If Necros is playing, they ban Spider-Man. Sometimes they ban Black Panther. Luna gets banned a lot. Yeah, Iron Fist. The funny thing about Iron Fist, I see people rage all the time about Iron Fist. He's honestly not good.
I think the problem is that I don't think he's that great either. But like, if you're like a DPS or a healer and he's just auto locked on you, and there's almost nothing you can do.
Yeah, like Iron Fist. That's why Iron Fist is like a classic noob stomper character, because if like at like the highest levels, you almost never see Iron Fist,
right?
Because if Iron Fist is like diving into like a backline of like Mantis, yeah, if he's like diving into like a Mantis Luna backline, he's getting deleted. Like, because the problem with Iron Fist is like, he has a similar, like Wolverine and Iron Fist should like combine aspects of their kits to make them better, because the problem with Wolverine is that he doesn't have enough mobility and sustain, and he can only do damage against one type of character. And the problem with Iron Fist is that he has all the mobility and sustain, but he does no fucking damage.
Yeah.
like it takes him forever to get a kill.
Here I want to explain the picture, by the way, and point out that Iron Man has no buttons because all he needs is the right trigger. All right. And Iron Fist is using the Fisher Price My First controller because that is the mentality of the player. So yeah, and we just added Iron Man on his stupid turret.
Sure.
I will say that like Punisher is a total noob character. Like I've not played Punisher. I've not played Iron Fist. I like don't have any interest in playing them. I think they take zero skill. Same with Iron Man. I have played him like for like 5 minutes, I think, just to get an achievement because it was easy. But like they're all like most of the players are just brain dead, like pressing one button, hiding in the back. I have no respect for those players whatsoever. Like when people brag about playing like Punisher and being good on Twitter, I'm like, okay, that's not really something to brag about. Okay, cool.
Punisher is actually a top tier character, A tier, but he's also happens to be one of the easiest characters to pick up. Like anyone can pick up and play Punisher and do well on him. You know, his gun is hit scan, so you don't really have to aim that much. You know, his turret is really strong. His ultimate is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of respect for most Hawkeye, Black Widow, Hela, and a little bit of Moon Knight players. I play Moon Knight super aggressive, so like I can't just sit in the back and shoot people. Like I understand you got to have some aim, but like I kind of feel like those type of players are. I don't like those. Like you, I'm sure you saw the video of Nade Shot bitching about not getting healing as Hela, right?
Yeah.
All right, like that. Like I thought it was so funny that like Jake Lucky,
Yeah.
whatever. I thought it was so funny that he thought he was like making this great point that, oh, this is it right here. See, like how can this happen? You know, why aren't you healing him? When literally everybody is like, well, he's Hela. He could have flown to Luna, who is in her ult, and of course Rocket ignored him like within the 2 seconds from when he spammed heal and he died. He was going to the point where Luna had her ult and all the tanks were. Like, no, you're just sitting in a corner trying to get pot shots and then begging for healing when somebody hits you. Like, no, that's you're not a priority.
Yeah, that's not how also Rocket's healing is like slow, so it wouldn't help anyway, especially with how much damage they probably took. Yeah, the correct play to play Hela, if you're gonna play away from your team and try to get a flank angle, as soon as you're hit and found out, what you're supposed to do is, first of all, you should be using cover. So obviously he's bad. But if they are about to dive on your point, or your point is compromised, you're supposed to use her flight to get away and get back to your team, or go to the corridor, find a health pack and get out of there. You're not supposed to just sit up there in the same spot with Hela.
Yeah, but it's Nade Shot, so like of course he's right for begging for healing.
I'm sure he got roasted.
Yeah. And the funny part is I don't think Nade Shot actually posted that clip. I think this Jake guy just posted on his own. So like he did a good job getting Nade Shot roasted for no reason, because for being wrong and not understanding the situation. I know that there are people, like in every video game that's ever existed, there are campers that play that type of character with a sniper rifle that like hangs out in the bushes and just tries to get their pot shots. I have to be going for some kind of objective, and then even like when we're on defense, like I don't like chasing them, like because then somebody gets by and you go from 99% to losing the game,
there's definitely a skill to that, and that that takes that because there are times when you do want to pursue, but
Right.
the problem which you especially you see at lower ranks is that they'll just over pursue and try to camp their spawn and show them, oh, we're not going to let them out for no reason. If you have the opportunity to like get like a key member like a healer, they're trying to run away, yeah, chase them down the hall, take them out, but come back to the point because you're supposed to be defending the point. And yeah, like in terms of like a character like certain like Moon Knight, I think they've generally done a good job with the kits, but there are definitely some characters who are designed to be played in such a way. Like Moon Knight is designed fundamentally to play further away from the action, because if you get too close with Moon Knight, you're gonna die. Like there's nothing you can do. His kit is designed to be a long range sniper type of character, like just create chaos in the crowds. There are some interesting things you can do with Moon Knight, like flanking at and getting different points so you can surprise them with the Ankh. But in general, you don't want to get too close with Moon Knight unless you absolutely have to, like you need to touch point, because he has no sustain. Like
Yeah. No, that's true.
Like if you get hit with Moon Knight, you're gonna die.
I'll say this though, like we had some matches last night which were super intense, and like our healers were doing like an amazing job healing, and I was just like in the thick of it. Like some people like, oh, your accuracy's off. I'm like, no, I'm just constantly flinging like my right trigger towards the direction that I think they're gonna be. Like if I miss, I miss, but like I'm just trying to predict where they're gonna be a lot of the time. And I think that is like kind of a good way to play it. Like you're not really losing anything but like we got in some situations where it's just it's just so much fun. And when you have the right people playing with you, it's like even better, because like I, with Moon Knight, sat there and was able to like, even though he's not a very sustainable character, and I agree with that, like I was like never losing health because that's how great the healers were.
Yeah, rare times. Yeah, I had a great run right before break. I was because I'm trying to eventually get the diamond. I'm trying to next get the plat. I hit gold 1, and I was playing. I was in gold 3 because I had ranked down from 2 because of just getting the worst players possible. So I started playing more during the day, and I ended up just fortunately finding people on mics in the team, and we hit it off. We did great, and we ended up playing a bunch, just forming like a 6 stack and playing a bunch of games together. Ran the table all the way up to gold 1. When one of our guys gets back from a break, I'm gonna get back on. We have a group chat and everything.
Nice.
We're gonna make it right. Yeah, playing it's much better. Solo queuing is hell. Like like the people who saying they're doing, they grind it this way mostly from solo queue. That's cap. They're definitely you can definitely go a decent way with solo queue, especially if you're picking the right character and you're really good and you get very lucky. But you're gonna have to put in a ton of hours to get there, and eventually, which is what they all do, they find a 2 or 3 stack, and they use that to kind of get them over the hump. Like everyone I know that hit high rank did it by having a really good stack that they they just got like a couple friends to help them along the way. Like because solo queuing is really hard in my rivals because you're entirely relying on luck, and unfortunately the way the current matchmaking works is you're gonna have some games where you get a good team, they're cooperative, they're on mic, they know what they're doing, they follow the objective, everyone's doing what they're doing. And then you're going to have probably sometimes 6 games in a row where where no one knows what they're doing. There is extremely toxic. People aren't on mic, they aren't listening to instructions. They want to lock 4 DPS. No one wants to play like it's good. It's bad.
I feel like if I were to play comp, I would have no problem playing as the healer role. I feel like the reason I don't want to do ranked is because it's so hard to coordinate with enough people where everybody is like in the same group, if you will, or on the same platform.
Yep.
And if it was easier to coordinate that way, I would probably be fine with doing it. Like, I'm not going to go in there and solo queue it. You know what I mean?
I do not recommend it. Like
Yeah.
people saying that, oh yeah, solo queue, I made it. They're capping. Like they're like they hated every moment of it. So they got a stack as soon as they were able to. They definitely were not playing solo queue the entire time. Solo queuing is terrible. Like what the goal of solo queuing should be to get as high as you can and find a team while you're solo queuing so that you don't have to solo queue anymore.
Right.
That's the goal of solo queuing, to eventually find a team that you want to play with so that you don't have to solo queue anymore, because it's bad. It's so bad. It is not something I recommend.
Okay.
There was an interesting New York Times article today about how video games have basically reached this tipping point. As a general rule, I don't trust opinion pieces from publications that are speaking on topics outside of their area of expertise. Like I would barely take a New York Times article seriously if it was talking about politics. There's no way in fuck I'm taking it seriously. They're talking about video games. I feel like the New York Times has fallen off. I feel like it used to be way better. But yeah, I do think that video games are like, I always see like doom and gloom people, usually anti-woke losers, who say, "Oh, video games dying," or I saw someone that they said DEI killed the game industry. The reality is that the game industry is bigger, more popular, more profitable than it's ever been in its history. I mean, we just saw the Game Awards. We just recapped that a little while ago. More viewers than the Super Bowl, and the NBA Finals, and the and the Stanley Cup combined. watched 3 hours of video game commercials with occasionally some awards given out. like that's insane. Those are insane. Those are insane numbers.
I wonder how those numbers actually came through, though, because like
it's probably across like all platforms that they were because they stream from their YouTube, their Twitch, and they also stream from their website.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's huge, so I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of hyperbole out there.
This is pure financial cost of graphics. Yeah, so in terms of financials, yeah, there are the future of video game industry is interesting because we're seeing like studios complaining about the cost of developments getting too high. We got to scale it down. I think there's the problem with making predictions, especially on graphics, is that technology advances so fast, and like just seemingly out of nowhere, AI just took over the world. But it's true that currently, in terms of AAA gaming, it's more expensive, but also a big part of that a lot of these articles miss when they talk about the financials is that they're counting studios that are not like efficient with their spending, because the actual reason why the ballooning cost of AAA gaming has gotten so crazy is because of how big those companies have gotten. Like if you look at Ubisoft has had mass layoffs. They've been closing studios, amidst their financial problems, and they still have 18,000 employees.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Like the reason why the cost of AAA game, a lot of AAA games are so high, is because you have studios that are based in California, where it's already just unreasonably expensive to run a business. They're because of the cost of living and the taxes, they're paying their devs much higher than maybe some other places, especially overseas. Then they're not just paying like a group of people. Like game development, it used to be like 40, 50 people, making even big games. And now you have like 500, 600 people, 800 people working at these studios in California, making $100,000 a year plus benefits. They got to pay not just developers, they got to pay the managers, obviously the CEOs, the heads. They got to get their bonuses, because they got to buy their sports cars. They got to have their big HR department. They got to pay the marketing. They got to give $100 million, $50 million to the marketing department to use every year. There's a lot more that goes into a lot of these studios that have dramatically driven the cost up. And that's why you haven't seen like a dramatic increase in the quality relative to the cost, because the increase in cost isn't for the game, it's for everything surrounding it.
Yeah. like literally exactly how I would put it,
Yeah. Spider-Man PS4 cost $100 million to make. Spider-Man 2 was $300 million. It doesn't look like it cost $300 million compared to $100 million, because that budget didn't come from, oh well, we made these huge advances in graphics, we had to buy all this new no, it's because their studio expanded. They started at like, it's not that before 2020 had like 280 something employees. They had less than 300 employees, and at one point it got to, I think, 600 employees. And they're based in California, because they're always putting out these games. So of course and plus they're dealing with a Marvel product, so they have to pay millions of dollars to Marvel for the license, and then they have to give them a cut. So that that's factoring into their costs as well. So of course their costs are going up, because they have way more people. What's happening with the technology is that the technology, obviously there's going to be concerns about AI costing jobs, but what's happening is, with these advancements in tech, especially AI, it's actually making game development cheaper. So that's why you're seeing, just in general, like a big kind of gold rush of like the AA and indie game market, because it's never been easier to make a video game. Like in the past, yeah, you had to get you had to get 40 guys together, but you had to get finance, you had to get funding, because there was just so much that goes into making games. Now literally anyone can make a video game. Like Velatro, one of the best,
one person,
one of the big best-selling games of the year. One guy, and he didn't even make it like as this is going to be my big game. Like, it wasn't a No Man's Sky situation where he put everything he had literally into making this game work. Now he's like, I want to get a job in gaming, so I'm going to just throw together a game for my portfolio, so I can use it to apply for a job at a studio. And the game he made for his resume essentially ended up being one of the biggest games of the year.
Yeah. I haven't played it. I've heard it described as like a roguelike poker game.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, and I've thought about it, but then I saw, like, in order to get like the platinum or all the achievements, you're gonna have to play for like 200 plus hours. I'm like, I'm out.
I hear it's pretty easy to do that though.
No. What, put in 200 hours?
Yeah. Everyone I heard that played the game says it's
Addictive.
just horrifyingly addictive is how they describe it. Undisputed game Actually, the most viewed live stream in the history of the Sit Out the Gamer YouTube channel. I played I played Undisputed when it came to PS5. Yeah, literally 3 guys. They were in college studying video game development. 3 guys decided they wanted to make a sandbox Superman knockoff using Unreal Engine, and they released it for free on Steam. Got like 1 million downloads, became a viral hit, and they got funding to create, to not only start their own studio but do a sequel, which is Undisputed Genesis, comes out in 2026. Highly excited about that, looking forward to playing it. But that just shows how far the technology has come along, where even just 3 college guys can put together a serviceable video game that gets that millions of people are going to play and find and enjoy. And it's only going to get better as the technology goes. Like, I've seen some absolute crazy tech lately with AI in terms of like video generation, world design. Like, it's going to get to a point where you're going to be able to consistently make like games that are like next gen quality just from your bedroom, like just on your laptop. I think in the next 5 years it's going to be like that, because it's already getting pretty close with some of the stuff you can pull off and render. Like, there's this viral tweet going around, someone made claiming that they had a pic of GTA 6 Lucia in lingerie that went viral, but it's not a pic from GTA 6. It looks like it's from GTA 6. It looks like Lucia, but it's not. It's just made from AI.
I saw something earlier. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I'm in a like a Hot Toys group that my friend invited me to, and it was somebody with a Superman hot toy, and it was like moving like it was real, and it was like, whoa, that's kind of creepy. Like, toy action, like super action figure Henry Cavill Superman is like pointing at me. Weird. So
Travis loves Superman. Speaking of, how many times have you seen the James Gunn Superman trailer?
We were watching, my wife and I were watching TV, and before we started watching our show, I made her pull it up on YouTube to show it to her, because I was like, I think you're gonna want to see this with me. Like, I've watched it a bunch of times. I've seen it on TV a few times, and I always like don't fast forward through it. I think it looks amazing. Like,
Travis admits it. Finally admits he loves Superman. Got him. Caught in 4K.
Yeah.
I have literally watched this trailer 30 times.
Yeah.
I love this trailer.
And I know the Snyderverse cult is out there like being cultish, but
they're so mad. I love it.
Yeah, like the only complaint you could really make is that Guy Gardner looks kind of stupid.
Yeah, that was literally my only, like, when I did the live stream reaction, that's the one thing I pointed out. Like, I don't, the hair I thought was fine. That's
the face he's making.
Yeah, my biggest thing about the Guy Gardner, I didn't like the suit. Like, I thought the hair that was mostly accurate.
For the 80s.
I didn't like the suit.
They've done a good job of like modernizing his hair without like taking away from the fact that he's like, a jock kind of guy. But like, but it was one little view of it, and like, his face looks stupid, and he keeps getting compared to like Uncle Fester. No, Guy Gardner is not that one. You're thinking of the first Green Lantern. I'm blanking on his name. He was the first Green Lantern, though. He has like the red suit. But yeah, I just thought that like the thing about the Superman is he did what Superman's supposed to do. Like, you feel the positivity and the hope from that. You know what I mean? And I'm not like going to sit there and overanalyze everything. Scott is not Travis Scott. Alan Scott. Yes, Alan Scott. Yeah. Retroactively, by the way, but that's another story. Yeah, man, I just think it was bright, it was vibrant, you know.
And took us on a journey. Like, yeah, you obviously you start him at his low point, and then you bring it up. It kind of just shows like a little microcosm of the Superman story, like what he inspires in people. Even at your lowest, there's always hope. He's bleeding, literally bleeding in his Yamcha pose, and his crypto comes, and then you the like every time the little kid in like the war zone, they show that scene where he's got the homemade Superman flag, and he's just like Superman. I get chills every time. every time.
I've seen people like go so far as to microanalyze it, where like that slow motion scene where he like grabs the girl and shields her. It's like, oh well, he would have broke her neck. I'm like, come on, he's in slow motion. He knows how to do it. Like, let's not get carried away, nerd.
There's always going to be weirdos who are just going to like they definitely have Zack Snyder body pillows that they're going to try to pick apart. That's another scene, like when he saved the girl, like that. Not only did it look cool, but that it was perfect. It was like perfect Superman, because the thing that some people miss, especially in the first viewing, and why I love that scene so much, that shot so much, is because it's exactly how Superman is supposed to be. If you look at that scene, he's in the middle of battle. Like, he's actually battling. He's got a little dirt and rust on him. He's been fighting. It might be the kaiju battle, it might be another battle, but he's trying to save the city from a fight that requires his full concentration, and he always has time to save somebody.
Yeah.
No matter what. That is textbook Superman. Like, he's not going to let a civilian die on his watch if he can do something about it. Like, that's one thing I didn't like about Man of Steel, is how just dark they tried to make it, like the dark side of Superman, all the collateral damage and everything like that, and he's going to snap his neck because this is it's the only way. Like, that's not Superman. Like, it just isn't. Like, I don't like it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Henry Cavill is like generational as Superman. Like, he did what he was asked to do and everything, but like I don't know that we'll ever get somebody that looks Superman. Okay, so no matter who they cast after him, it was always going to be an uphill battle. But I think Corn Sweat looks awesome.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's not as jacked as Henry yet,
right?
But he definitely looks smart. Especially, I think I love the transformation to Clark Kent he makes. I think he's the only Superman we've seen in live action that convincingly doesn't look like every other Superman, to the point it just became a meme. When they go Clark Kent, they just look like Superman wearing glasses in a suit.
Right. Yeah. And to what Eastwood was saying, I'm not even a big Superman fan either, and I'm really excited for this. I think it looks really good. Hawk Girl looks really cool. Mr. Terrific looks really cool. So
yeah. Is that exactly, like I understand, Snyder wanted to be edgy. I think what ruined Man of Steel, I think The Dark Knight ruined Man of Steel. I genuinely believe, like, I actually had this huge rant on stream when I was covering the Superman trailer about how the Christopher Reeve Superman movies are actually bad, and how the Christopher Nolan Batman movies don't age well at all. But one of the things that I feel like ruined the Snyderverse, apart from just bad writing and mismanagement from WB, is that they were a prisoner to the success of the Dark Knight. Like the Dark Knight trilogy was basically a response to and a rejection of the campy Schumacher Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, Batman had gone through the revolution, thanks to the comics, where instead of the hey, G Willikers like the Adam West era, goofy Batman. You have the dark, actually had the dark, Dark Knight, like the actual Dark Knight. So then you had the Tim Burton Batman movies to like kind of reflect that. But then comics, started getting a little more movies, started getting more campy, and then they went the opposite way with the next set of Batman movies, with Schumacher going trying to he was kind of trying to like juggle both, like the Tim Burton darker Batman combined with like the campy Adam West, and the result was George Clooney with bat nipples and a credit card, which I wish I could forget. but and then because in general comic movies, the MCU hadn't taken off yet, and they just weren't taken seriously. Like apart from Blade, thank goodness for Blade and Sam Raimi, but in general, like they didn't really take comics seriously. And then in response to the Adam West, you had Nolan, who's more grounded and decided to kind of take Batman back to his roots with that trilogy, and it had a huge impact on the industry. Particularly, typically didn't Marvel did their own thing, but for DC they're like, yeah, this is the way. Marvel was fun and bright and all the one-liners, but we're serious. We're DC. We're dark and gritty. We don't make jokes. We make speeches, and we this is comics for the adults. We're gonna people are gonna die. We're gonna use profanity, Superman. Fuck this bright shit. We're gonna desaturate the entire movie and have them break someone's neck.
I will say this, and it's always weird to me because like I had such a great experience seeing Justice League, because like I saw it like a early showing, like with nothing but hardcore DC fans in Boston, and like that opening sequence where like the Green Lanterns are fighting and everything, like people were like getting out of their seats and cheering. And I've never been in a movie theater where it's been like that. Like I've definitely been in some theaters where like, oh, there's some, everybody celebrates a little bit, but like literally felt like I was at a sporting event, like a UFC fight or something, during some of that movie, like the way that people were just getting into it.
That must be huge. Actually, there must be huge DC fans because I fucking hated that scene.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like I don't know what it was, but like it made the experience cool, and I can't ever like forget that. You know what I mean? But sure. Like at the same time, like the Snyderverse cult ruins everything for me.
Even on first viewing, I thought that scene was absolute complete ass. And I thought that was one of the worst scenes I'd ever seen in a comic book movie. Like I was like, the Green Lantern looks shit. Darkseid looks like a little bitch. This is fucking terrible. This is fucking terrible writing, terrible filmmaking, terrible choreography, terrible CGI. I was like, I don't. After that, I was like, I don't have high hopes for this movie. I love the Wonder Woman hostage scene, the Superman fight against the Justice League was cool. The Snyder version where the Flash does his super speed thing at the end, I thought was excellent. But I thought the Snyder cut at that movie was just incredibly overrated. Like, because this goes to my biggest problem with Snyder. Snyder generally has a great eye for visuals. Like that's why he has such good trailers. He kind of understands, how to make something look good on screen, particularly his action. He has a great eye for it, for sure. That's why I thought he should have made a Batman movie or something else. Like he shouldn't have made Superman. He definitely shouldn't have made the Justice League. But the problem with Snyder movies is that he doesn't know how to make a script, and that's why all his cuts are like 10 hours, because he doesn't understand like the fundamentals of writing a script. He cannot, for the life of him, put together a coherent script with a steady crisp 3-act structure where you hit all the key plot points in a reasonable manner, and the editing is also shit, but it's partially because of how bad his scripts are. That's the fundamental flaw of Zack Snyder's movies. He's a talented director, but his scripts are dog shit.
Like, what you're saying is his movies should be TV shows.
They should. They should.
He needs time.
Because I watched a little bit of. I watched like the first 5 episodes of his animated show on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty good. But his movies are shit. like the Snyder cut of the Justice League was shit. It was an extra 2 hours of unnecessary slow motion. Like the reason why they seem better than the original is because they make more sense, and that's because he cut out, because of how bad his scripts and editing are, he cut so much out of the original cut that the original cut didn't make any fucking sense. And when you see the full 4 or 5 hours, then that's why. Yeah. But if you had good scripts, you could have fit all that into 2 hours.
I just gotta say, I don't think it matters that we didn't play out his whole vision and that we only got the 2 movies. We saw where he was going. We saw what he was able to do. I don't think he was going to do anything better. Like,
we haven't seen Zack Snyder. Like, I've seen Sucker Punch. I've seen 300. I know Zack Snyder. I've seen Man of Steel. I know he has not changed as a director in 10 years.
Yeah. I don't think it really, it's the point isn't that like, oh, he didn't get to finish his vision. It's what he did was not great, and we don't need to see the rest because it doesn't matter where it was going. It was just not going to be good. It was not going to be visually appealing. We saw it,
we know exactly where it was going because he just made it. It was Rebel Moon. That was Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. We don't have to do what ifs. Or what if Zack Snyder had his DC? We know what Zack Snyder's DC would have been if he had his full vision. It would have been Rebel Moon.
Yeah, I don't know if that was directed at the opinions of what if the show. I have not watched. Honestly, I haven't watched anything. I haven't watched Commandos. What if
Creature Commandos is
Star Wars?
Creature Commandos is fucking awesome. I definitely recommend it. I'm very, very pleased with James Gunn's DC so far. As far as What If, I watched 4 episodes of this. I told myself I was gonna try to watch them all before the podcast. But I ended up taking like a 2-hour nap, and I was like, I only have time to watch the Red Guardian and Winter Soldier episode, and the Howard the Duck. What if Howard the Duck had put a baby in Darcy, and they are. I understand. So my problem with What If last season, was that I felt like the writing fell off, particularly towards the end. Like I thought there was a couple episodes in What If season 1 that were pretty bad, but overall I thought it was really good. They had some amazing episodes, and I thought the ending, the way everything led up to it was just masterfully done and fantastic. It made me excited, and I feel like season 2 kind of went backwards in some way. Like the episodes were more consistent in quality, but nothing real for the most part didn't really elevate to the level of some of the highs of season 1. And like the only episode to me that really stood out in season 2 that I'm thinking about off the top of my head that like really stood out as excellent was the Hela and Shang-Chi episode. But I feel like the ending, the way they tied it all together, just wasn't nearly as good as season season 1, and I've heard I saw Paul Tassi. I didn't read his full review, but I saw his comment about how season 3 ended, and it's kind of like what I was fearing going into the final season, that it ended shit. And I could tell from the episodes we've seen so far that this is probably going to be the worst season of What If.
I think it's the last season too.
Yeah, it's the final season. It's definitely gotten worse. So far it's definitely worse than season 2, and which I thought was a disappointment. Like the first 2 episodes were like, I think it was what if Black Falcon and Bruce Banner were best friends instead of Steve and him and Steve, and it was basically a Godzilla movie played out on a show where he has to try to they have to save the world from gamma monsters or whatever. It was a decent episode, but the second episode was like literally almost the exact same in terms of how it ended, and I thought it was okay as well. The Red Guardian and Winter Soldier episode was fun, but I really don't like how they made the Red Guardian, but it is what it is.
I'll watch it eventually. I don't know if you saw, I had some computer issues.
Yeah, I heard.
$1,700 later, I basically have a rebuilt computer. But I was really annoyed because I unplugged my Elgato so I could use something while I was in between. So I ended up connecting it to my PS5 because that's my Marvel Rivals machine right now.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you know what? I'm bored. I'm just going to start watching some stuff. And I loaded up Disney Plus because I'm like, all right, I can do What If and I can do Skeleton Crew. And it was like, oh, you have to turn on HDMI. And I'm like, all right, fuck this.
So like, Skeleton Crew is actually really good.
Or HTCP, sorry.
I like Skeleton Crew. Yeah. Like literally, the first I remember the first 2 episodes of What If. Yeah. It has some elements of Power Rangers. It's mostly Voltron, but it definitely was referencing kind of the Sentai era of Japanese culture. But yeah, a lot of Voltron thrown in there. But I thought, but they basically had the same ending. Like the first one is, what if Bruce and Falcon were best friends, and he has to save the world. And then the second episode was what if Agatha went to Hollywood, and basically she's working with Howard Stark, who's like a big film producer, and she's discovered the Celestial under the ground, and she's trying to cast a spell that will allow her to absorb all his power. And they basically have the exact same ending, which I thought was kind of lazy, even though they're like about 2 different things. But yeah,
let's not spoil it all for me.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't tell you what the ending was, but I'm telling you ahead of time. Episode 1 and 2 are about 2 completely different things, and they have the exact same ending.
Yeah.
The third one, I think the Red Guardian and Winter Soldier is the best one so far. The Howard the Duck episode fucking sucks.
How many times during that Winter Soldier Red Guardian episode did you just hear him go, "Oh, again"?
None, unfortunately.
Oh,
I would have loved. It was mostly Red Guardian spouting Russian stereotypes about how workers need to seize the means of production and something capitalist pig.
All right. Well, yeah,
it wasn't great.
I don't know what it is. I just have not been motivated to watch much of anything. We're all caught up with all of our shows that I watch with my wife. What is it? FBI, the one that's in Europe. They left that on a really, really bad cliffhanger. I'm really mad about it.
Actually,
I like those shows.
I actually been trying to keep. I'm actually currently in the process of catching up on anime because I'm caught up on a lot of stuff. I got to finish. I'm current on Creature Commandos, Skeleton Crew. I'm going to finish What If reluctantly. But my priority this weekend was because I also got to finish the show on Amazon. I had to prioritize.
Haven't watched that either.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The video game show from the Love and Death Robots creator is pretty good. Some of them are a little too short, but I thought it was pretty good. But season 2 of Squid Game dropped, so that had to get my full priority. So I had to finish that. I thought it was pretty good, but every episode is like an hour long. So, and there was like 7 episodes, so it took me. so that was my priority. Yeah, secret level is pretty great. You finished Frieren Beyond Jury's Zen. Big W. One of the best anime of the last decade. 100%. Yeah, it came out. I think it premiered last year. It had the part 2 of its season in 2024 as well. Yeah, 2024 was a great year for anime. 100%. Amazing year for anime. That's why I'm going to finish all of them. Yeah, today I watched. I got caught up on Dragon Ball Daima. Got to see Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3, and I got caught up on Blue Lock, which is one of my favorite sports anime ever.
Cool.
It's pretty, really good. I'm going to go on an anime binge the next couple of days, but live action stuff. I still have a ton of stuff I could go through, but yeah, I wanted to prioritize Squid Game, and I wanted to get the Skeleton Crew, check that out because I thought it was going to be kind of like an Andor situation.
Yeah,
the Skeleton Crew, where it's like it's going to be a surprisingly good show with full of characters that no one knows. That was so good. Like, which is like the unfortunate part of Star Wars is like all the biggest, flashiest projects with like the household name characters fucking suck. Like, and all the best ones are like with new characters or like lesser known characters. Like the the Boba Fett show was dog shit, but the Mandalorian was good. Was good. Obi-Wan was trash, but Andor was good.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's something about Skeleton Crew that I just don't want to watch it. Like,
I get that vibe. I understand that vibe because it looks like something you don't want to watch.
Right.
But
but I just don't like the kid show shit, I don't know. But I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
it very much feels. I described it kind of like I think whenever I describe Skeleton Crew, the first thing that always pops into my head is Flight of the Navigator, but watching the show gives me vibes to like kind of those movies that 90s 80s kids grew up on, where that were like these really fun kid-centric adventure stories like Never Ending Story, The Page Master, stuff like that. I think it's definitely in that vein. I think it's really E.T. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
that's kind of a perfect. It's literally Star Wars. It's literally Star Wars with if it was the Goonies. Like
yeah, and I guess there's just this part of me that's like, I don't really want that from Star Wars,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's essentially the problem. That's the essential problem. Like when they reach for stuff people care about, like the Sith and the Jedi, it's just absolute dog shit. And then they just go in kind of these other directions, and the shows end up being good.
And I'm not saying it shouldn't exist or like that. I'm not happy for people that do enjoy it. It's just not what I want from it. You know what I mean?
I totally get. Like, I wish that they just would adapt like some of the better stories of the extended universe. Obviously, a proper Jedi Fallen Order series. Just give like us good fan-driven shows that people actually want to see, that are written by people who actually love Star Wars and aren't just trying to get a check or just do whatever project they wanted that they couldn't get greenlit because it was dog shit, but just slap the Star Wars IP over it.
All right, keep going with your anime stuff. I knew I wasn't getting through this show without a union mandated bathroom break, so I'll be right back.
I'm deducting that from your salary. Heard Sonic 3 was great. I have not watched any of the Sonic movies. Maybe I'll make that a project of mine. I'll watch the first two. I'll watch the first one. See if I like. Because I haven't really been tapped into Sonic lately. I loved Sonic when I was a kid. Haven't really like been interested in the games lately. I appreciate the revival that the movies have done for it, but haven't watched it yet. But I'll probably check out the first one, see if I dig it, and then we'll just run out the whole trilogy. But I definitely. I mean, I haven't seen as many movies as I usually watch because I just haven't been as interested. I haven't been going to the theaters. I did see Red One, and it's also the holiday season. Like when Christmas time, I always watch the same Christmas movies pretty much. So that takes up a lot of my movie time. But yeah, I got to see Kraven the Hunter to see if it's as bad as everyone says it is. I did watch Red One. It was free. It was free on Amazon. It was actually pretty solid. But I completely understand why it failed. It just wasn't good. Just don't watch the Knuckles show. Yeah, I have no intention of watching the show, but I have enough shows to watch that are actually good. But yeah, for the next few days, I'm just going to be watching anime. Almost exclusively, I'm just going to be watching anime for the next couple of days. Now that I'm done with Squid Game, yeah, I'm just going to go in and finish the anime that I need to catch up on because my backlog is getting a little larger than I would want it to be. So I'm going to get some of these out the way, especially since some of the new anime are finished. I want to catch up on. Now that I'm caught up on Daima, I'm going to finish Bleach, and then I'll go through some of my other favorites, like Shangri-La Frontier. I think I gotta check if there's a new episode of Dandadan. I see it. Check that out. Blue Box. Helios. That one's really good. I want to finish that. Yeah, this has been a great year for anime. Squid Game 2 just moved to the top of the list. Yeah, it was really good. I was concerned because like the first Squid Game, like this guy, spent years trying to, put this whole big story together, and this was the culmination of it. And because it was a massive phenomenon, it had to get a sequel. Even though he didn't probably necessarily plan for one, but I thought they actually did a pretty solid job with it, and I'm looking forward to the final season next year. I really enjoyed. Like it took a little bit to get into it, but I thought Squid Games really came around because the compelling thing about Squid Game season 1 was that it was a character study. A big part of it wasn't just the games; it was like the character study. Of this one guy, how his life fell apart under South Korean capitalism, and his desperation to find a quick way out led him into the Squid Games, and then season 2 was like, okay, we're following in on his journey to like undo and just bring the games down, and you were wondering how they would kind of replace the drama, the character studies, and I thought they did a decent job, especially when you get into the actual games, of introducing new characters for you to kind of fall in love with and get to know or hate. I thought they did a really good job with that. It really starts picking up, especially towards the end.
Yeah, South Korea is definitely having some issues right now.
Yeah, for sure. Women, great, beautiful women though. Love South Korean women. and their music's pretty good too. But yeah, a lot of problems. a lot of problems. Thanos, shout out to Thanos. Not the one you're thinking of.
Speaking of music, though, I actually went to a concert recently. I was very excited about that. Got to go see
Taylor Swift.
No, I got to go see Shadows Fall.
That one.
Yeah. It was cool, man. I hadn't seen a lot of these. Like, I haven't been in the music scene in a long time. One of my favorite bands of all time is a band called Unearth, and I just wanted to go. I used to like know their singer Trevor. Like, I would interact with him a lot because he also had a record label, and I would work with some of the bands that were on his record label.
Wow.
Like to review their.
Must have been before YouTube.
Yeah. Because
when did you unearth them?
So this was back in my writing days from like 2001 to like 2012-ish is when I started phasing out. So yeah, I never did stuff on YouTube because of copyright, you know.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to deal with it. It was definitely way harsher back then.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I fell out of doing music stuff. But I was just kind of walking around, and like I feel like it was like a Clark Kent situation because my eyes are not what they used to be if I'm not wearing my glasses, which I never wear. And I saw what I thought was Trevor, their singer, and I hadn't talked to him probably in well over a decade. And I just hear him go, "Jay." And I'm like, "Oh, yep, it's Trevor." And then we just sat there and talked for like 20 minutes, and it was awesome. And yeah, like I was really happy about that. Then I got to see them play, which again, I haven't probably seen them play in over a decade. Then Shadows Fall.
You just described every male relationship.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
probably. That's actually true.
You literally like girl I feel like this is one of the stereotypes that's 100% true. Like guys, like I will one of my best friends, I've known him since the 5th grade.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely far removed from the 5th grade, not nearly as much as Jay, but it's been a while. I think I've known him at this point for 20 years, and we will literally go 3 months or longer sometimes without exchanging a single message. And then he'll call him, or I'll call him, or he'll call me. We'll talk out of blue, and it's like I just saw him yesterday.
Yeah, and that is the thing. It's weird though. Like with these bands that are like always touring and everything, it's easy to think they would just like not remember you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I certainly wasn't counting on it. But yeah, like it was really cool to see like the Shadows Fall guys. I actually gave the singer of Shadows Fall, Brian, one of my plushies, because his family also had a boxer that passed away fairly recently, within the last year or two. Yeah, and the last time I saw him, we had kind of talked about our dogs and everything. Like Brian, I've known every bit of 25 years, Yeah, did I miss something? I never got one of those.
They sent you your package?
I didn't get no package. It actually made me log into Ubisoft Creators. Like, did I miss something? I didn't get nothing. Oh, well, I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, no, I remember. I almost forgot about it because I got an email a while ago.
Yeah.
From Ubisoft related to the Star Wars Outlaws thing, and they said, give us your information, in case we send you something. And then I forgot about it, and then like a couple months ago, I got another email from this from someone at Ubisoft that said the care packages for Star Wars Outlaws are a little delayed. So keep that in mind. I was like, oh, I forgot all about that. And then literally another couple months went by, and then I just went outside. Like I think it was like literally the day before Christmas Eve, and I saw this big box just sitting on my step. I was like, the fuck is this? Because I was like, because it wasn't I was like, I didn't order anything this much from Amazon, and then I opened it up, and it was just all the Star Wars Outlaw stuff. I was like, oh
yeah. That's sick. No, I'm definitely, that's awesome.
Maybe you might get yours because there was definitely some kind of delay in the shipments. Like they intended to send these out like a while ago, but
I don't ever remember filling anything out, so I don't know. It's weird. It's fine. It's whatever. I can't like.
It's great.
I
It's great though.
like literally
You get
just
so many.
randomly got this
You,
$320
yeah,
Corsair Virtuoso Max headset.
not as good as Nick's, but pretty good.
No, I don't. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna like slander the headset or Nix. I love Nix. Nix is great, but yeah, these are nice. I like them. So I had been looking to upgrade my headphones.
Yeah,
I will say,
yeah, they definitely have I don't remember the full roadmap that they gave us, but I do remember seeing DLC for Outlaws scheduled for 2025.
yeah, there's one more as part of the pass. I will say though, it just reminds me of how annoyed I am with PlayStation because I put the dongle into my PlayStation to test them and everything, and like I left it there until like we started the show, which is why we had the confusion where you couldn't hear me. And like every time I log on my PlayStation, I have to tell it I don't want to listen through the headset because it mutes the HDMI out. Like, why can't I just have them both work? Why?
Yeah,
Why do I have to tell it one or the other?
I have I plugged in my headset with the USB. I never have them on when I boot up my PlayStation, but because it's plugged in, PlayStation automatically has the audio set. So I don't even get to hear the cool retro startup music on my PlayStation because all the sound is muted unless I turn my headphones on.
Right. So on top of that, another thing that's like first world problems, and
100%.
the headset dongle obviously is a regular USB dongle, but the front of the PS5 Pro is two USB-C connections. So now I got to reach all the way and back and plug it in and whatever.
Jay hates reaching around dongs.
Wow, phrasing. Well, the only reason I was really doing it is because I didn't have my PC. So the only way I could do anything through Discord was if I actually connected the headset. Plus, it was good to test it out. It's nice. I fits pretty good. Sounds pretty good. I mean, it's the first new headset I've had in a long time. So my Bose headset, I love it. I love working for Bose, but like it's falling apart. It's seen better days.
I've had
these are every bit of like 12 years old.
I've had these same Razer headsets that I use only for gaming since 2020.
Yeah,
I got because I wanted the Pulse 3D headsets for the PS5, because I was like, oh, I'm getting my PS5 at launch. I want to compare it with I want to get it with the Pulse. It was harder, and this was when like everyone's having trouble getting PS5s, especially because this was like right after the pre-orders went up. It was significantly easier for me to snag a PS5 pre-order for launch than it was to get the fucking Pulse 3D headsets. Like they were going no, I could not. I had my stock Informer set up. That's how that's how I got notified that the PS5s were on sale. Was able to get it from Walmart. Nobody had the Pulse 3Ds. Like it was like every day I was looking for the Pulse 3. I'm like, there's no way these are that popular. So I eventually, because I wasn't trying to same for the PS5, I wasn't trying to go too hard. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to look up the best 3D headsets on the market as an alternative to the Pulse, because I assumed they weren't even the best in the market. People just wanted them because it went with the brand. And a blog said that these Razers were the best 3D headsets on the market. So I just bought them and haven't switched off since. They're actually really good.
Yeah. Well, what I like about these is like I can just unplug the dongle and put it on anything. You can go to my Xbox and go to the PlayStation and go to this the PC. So that was definitely something I was looking for. I had been kind of looking for a new headset. I kind of wanted. I had Astro A50s for a long time, and they feel so like they're like such a good headset, and they're so comfortable. Yeah, I was considering getting the new Astro A50s, but I had such a bad. I had the worst generation of the Astro A50. The base station sucked. Like they literally changed the base station within a year of dropping it. It's a dongle. What am I supposed to do? Like, that's what it's called.
No Diddy.
Adapter. I'll call it an adapter. Okay. Is that going to help all your childish minds?
Adapter definitely sounds better than dongle.
Okay. Well,
dong versus adapter.
All right. Fine. Okay. Like that, but that's what it is. It's a dongle. That's what it's called. Anyway, the adapter.
Jay loves fondling dongles.
Yeah, 12 hour. I mean, I was thinking about getting the Astro A50Xs, and I'm sure they're great. And it's just like Steven said, you know, you can go between all three, use it with all three. But just the fact that on the last pair that I got like kind of screwed, and they didn't like offer to replace my my base station like a year after I got it with the one that they clearly admitted it was like not a good base station. I don't watch any of that.
Why would Jay watch Cornhub when Marvel Rivals is right there? He can look at Squirrel Girl all he wants.
So unattractive.
Jay loves.
I'm actually honestly getting to the point where Squirrel Girl players, like, on top of the fact that they're like obviously have terrible taste, like they might be getting close to being included in the Hela Hawkeye Black Widow grouping. They just sit there in the back and do nothing.
Whenever I play with Jay, I make an effort to at least have a couple games where I play Squirrel Girl.
We'll never get a thumbs up from me. She is the worst.
I actually had a couple really, really good games with Squirrel Girl. It was so funny.
Yeah, I'll never use her.
The funniest thing about Squirrel Girl's kit is that, and which is why so can be annoying to play against her, is that because of the way her nuts ricochet and how much damage they do.
What? Yes, her nuts. I agree. She does have nuts.
They do insane. They do insane damage. She can throw nuts like no one's business.
Yeah, she's gonna be under the truck.
Yeah, I'll just be bouncing nuts down corridors, and I'll just randomly catch people in the head, and they'll just die.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It's so funny.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, some of the characters they designed are just, I don't. Well, all right, I actually had something like that I thought of the other day too with Iron Fist. Like, a lot of people are annoyed that it's not Danny Rand, because they went with, you know, the Asian Iron Fist because they're in China, studio. Right?
Yes, NetEase is Chinese-based studio.
Yeah, and they're like Lin Lee, I think is, or whatever his name is. He's like in like 6 comics. Like, he barely exists in Marvel. Okay, but you'll notice that the Asian characters in the game, you know, Namor, Luna Snow, Iron Fist, they are all like some of the most powerful characters in the game. All right, but like, they should have just
Are we really counting Namor as Asian?
Kind of. He's in Agents of Atlas, so
but he's from Atlantis, and Luna's also Korean, so you would think that they would not have the same treatment.
But they're still Asian, and I think there is something to be said for that. But like, they should have just used Shang-Chi instead of Iron Fist, the Iron Fist they chose.
I could give it that. Shang-Chi.
Like, I just feel like that would have had like, it would have, but I guess they wouldn't have had the Swordmaster outfit, which, you know, not the right Swordmaster either, but it is the one that was in Agents of Atlas.
I also love seeing Danny Rand fans upset, so this is just a win-win.
Yeah, but it just makes no sense. Like Danny Rand is Iron Fist to me, you know, like, he is the longest reigning Iron Fist. Sure, there have been other ones, but like, that's the one that it should have been if you're going to do Iron Fist, you know? It would be like doing like Power Man and not having it be Luke Cage, you know?
Yeah, or having Jane Foster instead of Thor.
Right.
Odinson.
Yeah, it's just weird. You know, like if you want to do a skin,
Actually, I would prefer She-Hulk instead of their normal Hulk.
but I do have a good conspiracy theory. I do feel like we will get a Danny Rand outfit at some point, and it's going to sell through the roof.
Oh, 100%, of course.
So that's my little conspiracy theory. But also, you know, you wonder why they made Iron Fist so like crazy. And it's, I mean, I feel like the Asian characters they really went to town with.
Which I don't think there's like any validity. Like I think Luna is one of the best healers in one of the best characters in the game, but she's not better than Mantis. I think Iron Fist is mid at best. Namor is definitely underrated. I don't think there's really any correlation between ethnicities and ability to characters. There are characters that are just great. There's some characters that are Doctor Strange, one of the best in the game. Black Widow, arguably the worst in the game. Spider-Man, extremely hard to play. Most popular character, extremely hard to play. Can be good, very often terrible. Depends on how you play. Punisher, great character. One of the best. Hawkeye, one of the best characters in the game. Hela, one of the best characters in the game. I think it's just some kids just came out better than others, and we'll see how that evolves as they do some buffs and they add some new characters.
But I do feel like Luna Snow is also kind of like Danny's character.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he was part of that group that got her in
the
Future
best
Fight.
Yeah, the best part of Luna Snow's kit is by far her ultimate.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like Cloak and Dagger is a better healer overall than Luna. But the biggest difference between them, I think Cloak and Dagger would actually be substantially better than Luna Snow if it wasn't for the ultimate. Like if Cloak and Dagger had a better ultimate, they would be the best healer in the game.
I really enjoy playing Cloak and Dagger. I know Eastwood is trying to get Cloak and Dagger to Lord. Yeah, I think he's pretty far along.
Yeah, they're really. I love the design. They're really fun to play. Like if I feel like we need a lot of heals and I don't trust my team, I always go Cloak and Dagger because Cloak could just output so much healing over the AoE. The only problem is the ult. Not only is it like sometimes it's tricky. You definitely have to play with your controller sensitivity or mouse sensitivity in order to get it to go in the right direction when you do it. But the other problem with the ult is that unlike Luna, when you pop her ult, you're basically just immediately immortal. Like I think one of the only things that can actually get through the Luna ult is like I think it's literally just Psylocke's ultimate and only if she like solo ults Luna and Iron Man's ultimate. But
I got really lucky and dropped Moon Knight's ultimate on top of a Luna that had just used hers and Spider Penny Parker and got them both, and I was shocked.
Yeah,
I just happened to do it at the same time she hit hers. And I didn't know that she was about to hit hers, and I was shocked that she died. Like, because Moon Knight's is tough.
Moon Knight's ult is extremely easy to dodge, but it does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
and but the problem with Cloak and Dagger's ult, like when her ult's finished, if you stand in it, you basically can't die to anything, especially if you drop the healing bubble inside of it. But on the startup, and while it's spreading around, you can damage Cloak and Dagger, and you don't even need an ultimate to kill them. Like if you do just regular attacks, like you can kill them before they finish during the ult, which I think is a flaw. Which is why you have to which is why the best way to use the ult is to like kind of use the Cloak and Dagger, use the cloak levitation to get up in the air, and then do the ult. So that you have a little more protection, because it still spreads on the ground the same way, even if you do it in the air. Because if you're on the ground, you're much more vulnerable, because there's a bunch of times like you're supposed to have some kind of invulnerability, but you don't actually. Like you can they have the shield icon, so you can't be CC'd, but you can definitely just shoot. Like if you have Punisher shotgun and you're like right next to a cloak who's doing an ult, you can just one shot. Which I think is stupid. I think they need to buff the ult a little bit.
We have another fight in the NBA today.
A new one. Like the Najee Marshall one was hilarious.
Yeah, we have Houston and Miami.
Oh,
Amin Thompson ragdolling Tyler Hero.
Oh no, not poor Tyler Hero.
He looks like he earned it. I think we can probably show this.
Hey, it's probably. I mean, it's an NBA. They don't really fight anymore.
Yeah,
you're not allowed. It's not the good old days. I love Tyler Hero, but he definitely seems like the kind of guy who has like a really punchable face.
Well, there was a better view of it.
That tackled Alvin Thompson.
Let's see.
Yeah, Tyler Hero needs to hit the weight room.
Jokic or Jovic?
No, right there.
Not right there. So, off from the bench.
From out of bounds.
Was he out of bounds?
Yeah, he was inbound.
Oh, yeah, he was the inbounder.
As soon as Tyler hit the floor, Rozier had a forearm.
Oh yeah, there it is, right there
on his neck. Yeah, he was on him immediately. Like, oh hell no.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that W teammate, like literally the second, like he thought Jabari Smith was there trying to break it up.
It was Jovic too, though. I think Jovic actually hit Thompson, and Terry hit whoever this is.
Yeah, I think that's Jabari. And like Terry just sneaks by Jabari and trucks Amin Thompson.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you might want to see that one. Did you hear what's his face?
Yeah, James Johnson retired.
The Celtics coach, Missoula, like wants more fighting back in the NBA.
I agree.
Like he actually like wants it. He thinks there should be more fighting.
Yeah, the NBA, the ratings don't lie. The NBA had some of its best years when they were allowed to fight.
I appreciate the Christmas gift I got myself from you.
Ooh,
this sweet 5-pack that I got. Look at that.
Disgusting.
Got Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum. Look at that.
Yeah, I agree. They need to bring back hand checking, allow fighting to a certain degree, like kind of like NHL, like to a certain, like make sure it doesn't spill out into the crowd or anything like that. But two guys want to run the fade, let them run the fade for like 30 seconds, and you'll quickly know who really wants to fight and who doesn't when they're allowed to do it. I feel like there actually won't be that much fighting if you like literally say, okay, you have like 30 seconds to run the fade. Nobody in the bench can, no interference unless like somebody's on the ground about to get their head punched in. Like as soon as you're down, it's over. Like there would not be as much fighting. I guarantee because there are a lot of fake tough guys in the NBA. There would not be, if you allowed it, you wouldn't see that much fighting. And when you did see fights, they would actually be entertaining. Like let them actually fight and go aside. And they also need to do something about these bullshit technical fouls. Like you should absolutely not get a technical foul for staring at. Like did you see the that woman who everybody was roasting?
I fucked up.
Yeah, like she threw Drummond out and then had to bring him back in. Yeah, after she had already threw Embiid out. Like that. This is one of the reasons that I stopped watching NBA. I fucking hate the officiating. Like it's gotten so bad that like I remember, I forgot what game it was. No, I think it was a Nuggets game when it was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen. Like they were like, even the commentators were calling it out. I think Jokic got thrown out. Like it was so bad. Like the refs were clearly making it about them. Like when I see someone get a technical foul for just look, like I literally the other day someone like dunked or something and they just dunked. They was like it ran back and Can't do that. What, man? It's fucking the NBA. Like there's some people who you obviously have the old heads who think they should bring back clotheslining, and they say NBA is soft, but no, the NBA actually is fucking soft, bro. Like a technical foul for staring, like is like no, they need to get.
I kind of felt that way about like I never want to like defend the Kansas City Chiefs in any way. Like they get all the calls, but they got flagged for unsportsmanlike after Travis Kelce broke the Chiefs record for touchdowns and then dunked the football on the goalpost, which is something that Tony Gonzalez did, and that's his record he broke. And they threw a flag on it, and their kicker ended up missing the extra point over it. It didn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's like
like it's the principle. Like they're trying to crack down and like force this agenda on the league, and it's bullshit. Like and you're right. Like there were actually, because back then there were actual real tough guys. Obviously the Ben Wallace situation got a little out of hand in the Malice at the Palace, but like within reason. Like when people were allowed to fight, like you didn't have, it wasn't like a fight every game, because like there were actual tough guys in the NBA, and they knew like if you threw a fist, or you threw a little elbow or something extra, you better be ready to stand on business, because they were y'all gonna be fighting. Like I was watching some James Johnson. James Johnson has some of the best stories, and just the stories about James Johnson specifically. Because he was like I feel like it might have been the NBA's last enforcer. Everyone's afraid of James Johnson because like his whole family are like black belts. He was like a kickboxer. He was like 10-0. Jeff Teague told a hilarious story about how he actually took a kickboxing fight in college while they were playing on the same team because he needed some extra money. And apparently he's real about that. Like he just beat the absolute fuck out of somebody at a heat practice. Like they were playing, and it got a little intense, and they didn't say the name, but someone apparently was like while they were playing said, James Johnson, oh, you're a bitch. And James was like, "Oh, all right. Well, you're going to have to see me at the practice." and Bam said he walked around the corner, and all he saw was boop, bop, beep, boop, he said James was doing like Bruce Lee shit, just absolutely beating the fuck out of this dude. And,
that's the thing. Oh, sorry.
And then when it was over, James was like, "You all right?" And then walked away.
Hockey fights, there's like a code. You know what I mean? So like. Yeah, they got fighting, and they obviously it's a little different because you have the penalty box or whatever. Yeah. But like they know when the fight is on, when it's over,
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know I don't know how the NBA would be able to do that, but I do agree that if it was a little more tolerated, that there would be less like fake tough guys. I do want to say that it's about to be halftime in the Falcons-Redskins game. And unless Jaden Daniels can get my opponent 85 points, I am going to win my fantasy football league.
Boo! It's all unless it's not about fantasy football anymore, Jay. It's all about prize picks and gambling.
It's wild. Oh, speaking of picks, I don't know what my wife is going to win, but she's been handing me her phone like once a week and saying pick my games, because apparently her school has like a pick'em league, and we are currently in first place, up by like 4 or 5 games with 1 week to go, and I don't know what she gets out of it, but hopefully it's something good.
You're just bullying teachers. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's like when the Marvel Rivals content.
Listen, there's a PE teacher or two that are in this group.
PE
they have no excuses.
PE teachers aren't real athletes. you know this. This like when the Marvel Rivals content creators were playing against journalists during Gamescom. That's not fair.
Yeah. So Good year of football for me, except for the Patriots. But if they get the number 1 pick, who cares? So,
I can't say one way or another because I stopped following football like 5 years ago. So I have no horse in any race. I don't care who wins, who loses. Only time I vaguely pay attention to the Super Bowl is to see who's going to be doing the halftime show. And that's pretty much it.
good old Kendrick.
King Kendrick. I will be watching, but otherwise I don't care about football anymore. Yeah. I tapped out. I barely keep up with the NBA. Like I follow more NBA podcasts and content creators than actual games. Like I'll try to watch the highlights to catch up and get the general stuff. But I just haven't been as interested in watching the league. Usually I tap in like when we get closer to the playoffs and then I lock all the way in. But like All-Star weekend and the playoffs, that's when I really lock in to the NBA.
Yeah, regular season I follow mostly. I will say I've watched more Celtics games than Bruins games this year.
Yeah, Doom is on the right path.
But football, I watch every Patriots game. Like nothing else exists during that 3 hours.
Nerd.
Yeah. So,
it's actually pretty impressive considering they suck now.
Yeah, it's obviously tougher right now. But I still watch it because like Drake May, we drafted him this year, and he is legit. I'm like he's going to be the second best quarterback in Patriots history. Like he's not going to be Tom Brady, but I think he's going to be just a small step behind him.
Oh, that's high praise. So a step or two behind Peyton Manning. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I think Drake May is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Like he's doing all this great stuff with like literally nothing. Oh yeah, cheating.
Yeah, you can do great things if you cheat. Yeah.
What happened? Like everybody got. Do you know how hard it is to go 20 plus years absolutely dominating in the NFL? Like, do you know how many teams like went through like 7 or 8 coaches? Peyton Manning is not better than Tom Brady. That is a cap, as they say. That is like ludicrous. You look at the players that Peyton Manning played with, and then look at the players that Tom Brady played with. So it's actually ridiculous. Peyton Manning, the guy that got all the PEDs, that guy.
So this is propaganda. Peyton Manning is better than Tom Brady.
No way. Listen, I love Peyton Manning in college. I'm a Tennessee fan, but
Tom Brady's a cheater. He's a dirty cheater.
Yeah, okay.
He'll always be a cheater.
Yeah, Brady did plenty of that himself too. Brady won in Tampa with some pretty good players. 7 Super Bowls, every record he broke, every record that Manning even tried to get. It's funny.
Peyton would have won more if he cheated more like the Patriots.
I mean, he took plenty of steroids, so I mean, look at his forehead. You can land a plane on it.
It's genetic. Eli is not Peyton. That is true.
No, we don't like Eli around here, though.
I also don't like Eli Manning. No particular. I don't care about the NFL. I just never like Eli Manning.
Smarter. Peyton's a loser. Well, Peyton can be whatever he wants. Nowhere near as many Super Bowls as Tom. Tom dominated him. Like Peyton was literally Tom Brady's bitch his entire career. Like literally destroyed the Colts all the time.
Cheated.
Nothing.
The most frustrating Super Bowl I ever watched was when the Eagles played the Patriots.
I almost went to that one.
I think that was one of the last years I really followed football. I fucking hated the Eagles so much after that, especially Donovan McNabb. I was like, you
threw up.
I was like, I can't believe you let those fucking cheaters beat you.
No cheating. Like literally disproven. Deflategate. Dude, I just got new tires and one of them was flat the other day. You want to know why? Weather. It's called science.
Cheater. It's called cheating.
All of this has been proven incorrect.
It's not been proven. It's funded by the Patriots themselves.
Yeah, I bet.
They investigate
whatever helps you losers cope.
They investigated themselves and found that they did no wrongdoing.
Yeah. bunch of losers still trying to cope. Sucks to suck.
We launched a thorough investigation of ourselves.
Yeah.
And we found that we did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Not how it worked out. Sorry to say.
Police ass investigation.
Doom, friendships will end over this. I'm sorry that like still decades later y'all are coping.
I'll follow.
Someday you'll find a way to get through it.
I don't follow football, but I will always shit on the Patriots.
Pretty tough to do.
I love it. I hope they get the number 1 pick every year, and never improve.
Yeah, well, they will probably improve.
I hope they stay the worst team in football.
No, I don't blame you for feeling that way. I would too if I had to see 6 championship banners.
In general, just Boston. I just think Boston deserves to, just in general across.
Yeah, I mean, like we've had literally, probably you could pick any 3 cities in this country, and all put all their championships together, wouldn't add up to the amount the city of Boston has this century.
Yeah, well,
you can pick New York and LA, and they got like 8 teams from each.
Let's be honest. It was because of Bill Russell.
In the 2000s.
I mean, no one cares about baseball, but Bill, if we're talking about the championships for the city of Boston, Bill Russell carries.
In the 2000s, Bill Russell didn't play in the 2000s.
Yeah, in the 2000s. I mean, we're talking about championships. Yeah, as I said, no one cares about baseball, and everyone knows the Patriots cheated. So
6 Super Bowls, 4 World Series, 2 NBA titles,
baseball
Stanley Cup.
Baseball doesn't count. The Patriots cheated, and the Celtics Celtics weren't even that good.
Cope.
A
lot of copium.
The Celtics haven't been great since Larry Bird.
A lot of copium right there.
I'm glad that Doc Rivers choked and they only got one time.
I mean, I'm glad we got the one in spite of him.
The only reason I validate that championship is because Kevin Garnett is one of my favorite players in any sport. And I wanted him to get at least one title before he retired. So I'll allow that one. But otherwise, I don't care.
Boston's a beautiful city. I don't know what you're talking about. It's certainly better than New York. Boston's definitely not a shithole city. It's an old city.
I've never been to Boston. I can't speak on it. I used to live in New York. Can confirm New York is a shithole. A beautiful shithole sometimes. Like it depends on the part. Like upstate New York is incredible. Probably better than every part of Boston. But when you're getting into like the city, like Manhattan, it's definitely a shithole. Yeah, especially now. It's gotten much worse.
It's literally stinks.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it literally smells like vomit, pee, and depression when you pull in New York.
Gabe, I'm always from Boston. We love this place. I don't know what Boston people you met. They certainly aren't any of the ones I know. Yeah, no. I'm literally from Worcester, okay, which is 40 miles from Boston, and I say I'm from Boston. All right.
Fake Boston.
Well, it's easier to describe. Boston geographically is a tiny city. That's the problem. So, yeah, like Dorchester, Jamaica Plain, all those little tiny suburbs that are connected to Boston are kind of Boston. It's like people from Brooklyn and the Bronx and Manhattan and whatever. They're New York City.
Yeah. I'm legitimately was surprised by how well the Cavs have played so far this year. I thought because I thought they had potential, but obviously they had a lot of bad injury luck last year, and I think they need to kind of figure out the Mitchell Garland pairing, and get some more out of Mobley. But they played Boston well. Like Celtics literally only won because of injuries through the playoffs. They obviously they got played really tough by Cleveland in particular, even though they didn't have Jared Allen or Donovan Mitchell, but they're when they're locked in, they're a pretty tough team. Which goes to show you how important coaching can be. Like there are definitely some instances where people overblow the impact of coaching, but it does matter. Like there some teams, obviously if you have great offensive talent, like that can kind of carry you through a lot of stuff, but bad coaching in particular obviously is very noticeable. But good coaching should go appreciated when you have it. And because they didn't make like any big splashy changes in the offseason. Cleveland mostly kept the same roster intact. They just went from one of the worst coaches to ever play in the NBA to one of the most talented coaches in the NBA. and surprise, now they're the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. Like, funny how that happens.
Yeah. I'm at a point with the Celtics where it's just like, listen, just get your shit together and get through the season healthy. I don't really care what seed we are. I don't think it matters.
Yeah. I don't think it matters at all. Like even more so, like especially after seeing last year's playoffs, like I almost don't even care about the NBA season until we get to like the last month.
What do you think about these Jimmy Butler trade rumors?
So Pat Riley just straight up said he's not trading Jimmy.
Of course, he's going to say that.
Which I think is funny because I think it's clear Pat Riley is sick of his shit. And I think what happened is that they've been trying to trade
exactly this.
Exactly, fuck Boston. Yeah, they've been trying to trade Jimmy this whole time, and they can't find a deal that they like. Pat Riley in particular, he's like really, and especially in the last few years, has been gun shy on pulling trades. Like there's a lot of trades they could have made. They just haven't. They just been waiting. I don't know what the fuck he's waiting for, but he's really cautious with trades. And now with the whole new CBA thing, it's even harder to make trades. And the current issue is that most of the teams that would want Jimmy, because they also have to factor in that Jimmy has leverage here because he could be a free agent, and no one wants to trade too many assets for somebody unless they get assurances that he's going to resign. And most of the teams that can trade for Jimmy don't need it. Like Houston could easily get Jimmy if they wanted it. The Grizzlies could easily get Jimmy if they wanted, but the Thunder could if they wanted, but they don't want him. They don't need him. And like teams that would want him, like definitely like Mavericks would love to have Jimmy, but they literally can't because of new CBA and all the salaries they have on the books. Like they would have to basically gut their entire team to make a Jimmy Butler spot work. So I mean, I think it pretty much leaves Brooklyn and the Warriors, but from the Warriors' perspective, like it also kind of doesn't really make sense to go in hard in for Jimmy. Like Kuminga's having a really good year. He's going to potentially could be a star in the future. They made a trade for Dennis Schroeder, which seems to have helped them out in the margins. Like going all in for Jimmy, age 35 Jimmy. I love Jimmy, but who keeps getting hurt in the playoffs. Like I don't know if that's the right move for Golden State either. I think because they were trying to get Lauri Markkanen earlier in the over the summer, so I think going for Jimmy is kind of like a desperation move that maybe they make if they start slipping further out of the playoffs, out of the playoff picture. But I think Golden State is kind of just like content to see what they have now and maybe make some trades around the margins, which kind of just leaves Brooklyn.
They might. I heard they're gonna probably waive D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, like they don't like they got their picks back, so they're just trying to tank and get a shot at Cooper Flag or Ace Bailey or Harper, one of them. So they have no intention of being good. So why would obviously they can afford to pay Jimmy what he wants, but should they like if because they don't even know what pick they're going to get. Like because remember that one season where the Knicks was like, oh, we're going to get the number 1 pick, we're going to get Zion, we're going to get Kyrie, we're going to get Anthony Davis, we're going to and they didn't get shit. They didn't get anything. Like you never know how the draft is going to go, especially now that they flatten the odds for the top 3. So just look at Detroit. They've been like the worst team in basketball and one of the worst teams ever in the last couple of years, and they have like one number 1 pick to show for it.
Yeah.
Whereas the Spurs just keep getting a number 1 pick whenever they're in the lottery. I think Cleveland had a run where they had like 3.
Yeah.
4. So obviously you could say it's rigged, which probably is, but the fact remains, like they can't count on getting the number 1 pick. Fortunately, this is a really deep draft, but does it make sense for Brooklyn, assuming they get Cooper Flag? All right, so what, you draft Cooper Flag number 1? Like, who do you have right now? You just traded Dorian Finney-Smith, so you're going to get rid of D'Angelo Russell. You're going to be free of Ben Simmons' contract. Who do you have? You're going to have Cooper Flag, Cam Thomas. Is that a number? Cameron Johnson, and then you give Jimmy Butler $100 million? Is that a championship team? I don't think so. I like their center, but is that a championship team? No. Who else do you sign in the offseason that could like put you over the top? Like I don't think it makes sense for him to go all in. On someone like Jimmy, especially he's 35, he only shows up in the playoffs.
Right.
So honestly, I think this just ends with Pat Riley just giving Jimmy his money and just running it back.
Yeah.
because his options are limited. Like no one wants to pay him his money. No one wants to trade for him, and that unless he's going to go there. The Heat don't want to lose him for nothing. It's really hard to make trades because of the CBA, and then on top of that, Jimmy, having all that leverage. I think they're just going to re-sign him and just call it. I think this is going to end with Miami's going to do nothing. They're going to add anybody new. They're not going to trade Jimmy. We're going to all this bullshit. The trade deadline is going to pass by. Jimmy's still going to be on the team. We're still going to it's still going to be Jimmy and Terry Rozier leading, and Bam and Tyler Hero leading the offense. And they're going to go to the playoffs to try to make another scrappy playoff run. I'd expect, hoping everyone stays healthy this time, because they did. We did make it to the finals, twice, but it's very clear that there's like clearly a talent gap that they have not been able to overcome, because playoff Jimmy is a legend, but playoff Jimmy needs help. Maybe this could be the year if everyone's healthy. Playoff Jimmy, Tyler Hero is much better this year. Bam is playing the best defense of his life, and he was already one of the best defenders. Maybe if having Terry healthy, maybe they can make a run. You never know what happens in the playoffs, but I don't think they're trading Jimmy.
Shall be interesting to see. Shams got pants though. Did you see that? Like Jimmy's agent came out and was like, "You're lying."
Yeah, I watched it. I think it was Flight Mike or one of them did a video. Apparently, Jimmy's agent and Shams just have just beef going back years.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, like literally, there's like an actual pattern of Shams will say something that's true, and Jimmy's agent will be like, fuck you, you're a liar, you're a piece of shit.
That's funny.
And then it'll turn out to be true, and he just won't say anything after that. And then he'll just repeat, like he just hates Shams for some. I don't know why. I don't remember why, but he literally just hates Shams. he just, wherever he's at, he just fucking hates Shams, and he always says Sham is lying, even when he's not. So yeah, so that whole thing was just funny to me, but I don't think there's going to be any drama. I am curious what some of the other teams. I'm wondering. I kept telling my dad like I'm just ready for Philly to blow it up because
they're playing better though recently, aren't they?
They're playing a little better, but I mean the injuries have been brutal. Like I mean they're being carried pretty hard right now by but Maxey, Paul George is finally making shots. But losing McCain to that meniscus was huge. Embiid is never the problem with the Sixers. Like, let me see where they're at right now.
I saw such a funny thing earlier. I think it was oh god, why can't I think of his name? Your guy that's never here anymore.
What, a player?
No, a person usually in chat. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think he retweeted something. It's like Jimmy Carter died today.
Oh,
it was like he lived through like the Depression and 9/11 and World War II and COVID and this and that, and still never saw Embiid make a conference final. I wish I could find the tweet.
That's funny, sad, and true.
He's the big Kanye fan. Why can't I think of his name?
Yeah, I'm looking at the regulars. I see there's only regular I don't see in chat right now is Jedi Mind Tricks.
No, regular from like your channel, from like back to the Avenger days, like literally the number one regular.
Well, my number one regulars are Cap Tay and Lucky. Gabe and Eastwood are up there as well.
Not as much recently, but I don't know if he's in your Discord anymore. God, we're
Bruno?
both gonna feel
Bruno?
No. We always made fun of him.
Oh.
Like the big Kanye fan.
I always make fun of Travis, but
no.
Nava. We never made fun of Nava. We never made fun of Nava. We love Nava Flow here.
I don't know why I can't think of him.
Are you sure he isn't one of your chatters?
No, he came from you.
You sure he's Durag Nation?
Yes.
I'm trying to think of all the regulars. I'm not remembering any other regulars.
I'm not going to be able to think of it. I can't believe I can't think of his name right now.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah. And I can't believe you can't think of him either, to be honest with you.
Is it Luis?
No. He's from Arizona.
Aqua?
I know that. Aqua. Yes,
Aqua. You forgot Aqua?
Yes, you forgot him too, apparently.
I talked to him today.
Then how come you didn't know he was like one of your biggest people?
Aqua was?
Yeah, he was one of your biggest people for a long time.
He was a mod, but I would never consider Aqua one of the biggest chatters. He was like a mascot of Durag Nation. Yeah,
gotcha. Well, all right. He saw the Great Depression. He saw Jackie Robinson play in person. Witnessed World War II. Saw the Civil Rights Movement. Witnessed 9/11. Witnessed a pandemic ravage the world. But after 100 years on this planet, he never saw Embiid make a conference finals. So that helped me find it.
Honestly, banger tweet.
Yeah. So.
The Sixers are currently in 11th place. They're 12-17. They're worse than the fucking Pistons and the Bulls. and they're big. Yeah, that's why I was saying they just blow it up, because the problem is that, like, even going into the season, like when we thought they were obviously going to be much better than this, it was all about the playoffs, because the problem with the Sixers every year is that when they get to the playoffs, at some point, Embiid hurts his knee, and either he misses misses games and they lose, or he plays through the knee injury and is basically useless because
Yeah.
he's playing on one leg. That's exactly what happened last year. That's why they lost in the first round to the Knicks, even though they were clearly a better team. And that's why they went out and added Paul George and all this other depth. But then everyone else got hurt too. So and then Embiid still's hurt because he didn't spend the offseason losing weight and resting like he was supposed to. So I just don't have any faith that that's even worth it. Like, I feel like, especially this year with how deep the draft is, just tank, bro.
Yeah. We didn't talk about this.
Oh no, we didn't. No, we were too busy yapping about Marvel Rivals, but that
Right.
is technically in the title. So I did make a video about this. I was on top of it. Yeah, a couple weeks. I think the last week I saw Caboose make a tweet about how he saw that someone was making a mod for Spider-Man multiplayer, and he couldn't wait for everyone to see it. And then I saw Tip Somniac, Spider-Man YouTuber, mainly does mods. I saw he had a premiere scheduled for Spider-Man multiplayer, so I checked it out. It dropped on Christmas Day. I gave it like a day. I covered it the day after, and apparently it's a mod for Spider-Man 2018. It's a really cool trailer, and they modded Spider-Man 2018 for PC to
We're talking about the new show.
Yeah. Oh, fuck that show. No, I'm talking the Spider-Man multiplayer. Apparently, it's going to have up to 16 players.
Weird.
Yeah. So the trailer mostly showed 3 players, 2 or 3 players, which I think, because I asked someone when they told me in the comment section, I was like, is it stable though? Because the only shot where they showed a bunch of Spider-Man, it was like a 1-second shot, and they were just all standing together in one spot. And the person said, well, it's fairly stable. So that sounds like, yeah, mainly you're going to be playing this with 3 players, 2, 3 at the most, which is very impressive. Obviously, it's a mod of Spider-Man 2018. It's going to be multiplayer at all. That's very impressive. But getting 3 players to work as fans, very good. They basically try to make it look like the Great Web, and they're going to be, so they got the Spider-Man 2 suits, but you can play as Gwen, Cindy, Venom. So it looks like a lot of fun. It makes me very excited for the Spider-Man 2 PC, because those mods are going to be even crazier. Not because these modders have basically been doing all this with Spider-Man 2018 for all these years, and having Spider-Man 2 to work with is going to be absolutely insane. Like the actual show, yeah, because when I saw that, it reminded me that I in the title of the stream I put the Spider-Man multiplayer.
I see that, yeah,
because I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, I haven't even. I completely threw out the Spider-Man show, the new animated show, because when I first looked at it, I was like, okay, we'll see, Friendly Neighborhood. But then when I saw it, the actual trailer, I was like, oh, I'm out.
Oh, I thought it looked great. I loved the way it looked. Looked like you're watching a comic book.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a new trailer, but
came out today.
No, I didn't see that one. The comic one, I think the Comic-Con one I saw was ass.
Oh,
I thought
one today was really good.
I thought it was complete ass. Well, let's react. Let's react to it right now.
All right. Do you want me to pull it up?
Pull it up. We'll do a live reaction. Sadat the Gamer live reaction to the new Spider-Man trailer. Right. I thought the last trailer I saw for the show was complete dog shit, but apparently good things are being said about this one.
All right, let's
see if this is a better.
Also share audio.
Let's see if they can change my perception of the show.
Wait, what happened? Why didn't it? Entire screen. Share audio. Share. Browser can't access your screen. Try capturing a different screen.
Boomer. I can do this in 30 seconds.
Why is it not doing it though?
Spider-Man, Marvel Animation, Friendly Neighborhood official trailer, Disney Plus.
Oh, there we go.
But I got it. All right. I had it queued up. I was like,
well, I did something different.
Took me 30 seconds.
Peter, you're gonna be late.
Sorry, man. I'm okay.
Hey,
Oh,
Petey's always been a bit clumsy.
you know me, clumsy Petey Parker. Help, Mr. Campbell. I remembered I left something in the bathroom. Deuces. Parker out.
Oh,
Superpower size kid, know you want a neighbor like me. Look out.
Somebody help me! He's running. Grab him. Gotcha.
I thought it was dead meat. Check out our next victim in his dumbass costume.
Is my suit really that bad? Ouch.
Oh!
Watch out for that ladder. Just consider it a good deed from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's me, by the way. I'm Spider-Man.
There we go, there we go, there we go again. Swinging through the city so fast you could barely notice him.
I truly believe that I have these powers to help people, to protect them.
Need my city, you need me. Taking off the mask, I know what you see. Know you want a neighbor like me. Just a young man cleaning up the streets. Ain't nothing changed, no, this is the real me.
So, you're Spider-Man. With my help, you'll achieve greatness.
Oh man, this suit's incredible. If you ever need another butt kicking, just look for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Know you want a neighbor like me.
And no, you may not be excused from said test. Ah, nice of you to join us, Mr. Parker. See me after class.
So it does not seem like he enjoyed it. I think that is a race swapped Norman Osborn.
no, that's Tyrone Osborn.
Yeah.
You're confused. You're confused. I'm just confused. Apart from getting to see the future suit, I appreciate what they're trying to do, trying to like bring a comic book shit, kind of bring the comic book to life. I think that show looks like complete ass, bro. I'm sorry.
All right.
That looks complete ass. The writing is cringe. I could already tell
Parker out.
This is giving me big how do you do, fellow kids energy.
I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool. I liked it. I'm interested.
But the biggest thing for me is like the art style. Like I appreciate them trying to like kind of do the comic book come to life art style. I think the animation is complete ass. It looks terrible. I don't like it at all. I don't like the compositing. I don't like the motion. I think it looks complete ass. The art itself like isn't too bad, not great, especially in terms of a comic book aesthetic. I've seen much better. The show is trash. The show looks trash. I'm sorry. I'll watch it. I'll watch the first episode. I always watch the new Marvel or Star Wars projects when they drop on Disney Plus, even when I know they're ass or going to be ass or suspect they're going to be ass. And I fully expect this one will be ass as well. I'm sorry. It's bad. I cannot wait for Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
X-Men 97 was absolute peak. I'll try to hold on to that memory as I hate watch What If season 3 and the first episode of this absolute dog shit Spider-Man show. Like I don't even care about. I know people are going to be bitch about the modern audience bullshit, the modern audience stuff and the race swap, but I purely think it just looks horrendous. like visually, it looks horrendous, and maybe that's because I'm an anime enjoyer, so I'm used to in general animation in general, but so I'm used to a higher standard of animation quality, like and various art styles, not just traditional 2D or anything. I'm just used to seeing way better art in my animation. I think that looks horrible. I think it looks unwatchable and almost and I'll watch a show like I don't like one of my favorite anime of 2024 is called Trillion Game. It's a really fun show about two guys who meet, and it's basically their story about how they become billionaires, literally from nothing. It's just this unlikely friendship between a con artist and a computer nerd, and it's a great show. It's one of my favorite anime of the year, primarily because of the writing. It has really good writing, really good, interesting story, well paced, fun characters, well written characters. The visually complete ass. Like almost didn't watch it because it looks like complete shit, and not even just the animation. Like the actual art style looks ass. Like the art style for The Friendly Neighborhood is just okay to me. It's not terrible. I've seen worse, but the animation when it itself, I think is shit. But Trillion Game looks ass completely, like all the way around. It's bad, but I still watched it because it's got a really good story, is really good writing. So that's the bar when it comes to me when I watch something animated. I'll watch something if the animation isn't like top tier, but the worse the animation is, the better everything else around it has to be. Like the music, the writing, the characters, all that has to elevate to compensate for the visuals. And from what I've seen so far, now this is the second trailer for this I've watched. It's ass. Like the writing is ass. The art is mediocre. The animation is ass.
I mean, this wasn't something that I was like dead set like in love with, but I don't know. I thought I like it. I think it looks pretty cool.
I think this is going to be extraordinarily mid,
and it might. Some of the stuff is definitely cringe. Some of the writing stuff that we saw, but also I think it definitely. I think that was a good point about
Trillion Game is on Crunchyroll. Yeah,
probably a good point about it. Like strikes as the hello fellow, whatever.
How do you do, fellow kids? Yeah, that yeah, I felt all of that. and watching that, like not even just the cringe dialogue, but the music, the way they designed some of the character. Like, this definitely reeks of we're trying to be cool and appeal to like the TikTok generation with our Spider-Man story, and it's fucking bad. I'm sorry, it looks horrible. This might be the worst Spider-Man, end up being the worst Spider-Man show I've ever seen.
Interesting. Well, we will see.
I'm sorry, that looks horrible. I hope the trailers just weren't doing it justice. And I'll watch almost anything. Like I'll give anything, like especially on the new Marvel or Star Wars show. I'll give it 1 or 2 episodes before I'll make a judgment. I won't even if I like even going into the Acolyte. I was like, oh, this is going to be horrible. Just looking at the trailer, listening to the interviews, watching the trailers, I was like, oh, this is going to be one of the worst Star Wars projects ever made, 100%. And I knew that going into it, but I was like, but I'm still going to check out the first couple episodes before I make up my mind. And it was in fact one of the worst Star Wars projects ever made. But I didn't make that judgment until I actually watched a couple episodes. So I'm not writing the Friendly Neighborhood off completely. Even though everything I've seen so
He's
far,
writing it off completely.
I'm just setting my expectations. I think I'm going to still watch the first episodes before I make a judgment. I'm going to watch the first 2 episodes, to see where it's at. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, my first and second impression of this show is not good.
Well, I guess all we can do is wait and see at this point.
Yeah, January. Honestly, January. I'm going to be more concerned about Daredevil Born Again coming up and the new season of Marvel Rivals, and there's also the last Suicide Squad update.
Yeah.
Wow, it's over. It's really over. He's going to pull a Secret Invasion and smile through the pain. I don't think I smiled a single time watching Secret Invasion. That was just all pain. That was just awful. That was just bad all the way through. Holy fuck, that was a bad show. I don't think this is going to be Secret Invasion bad. This looking at Friendly Neighborhood, I'm predicting on a scale of on a scale of X-Men 97 to we'll go from a scale of X-Men 97 to Secret Invasion. I think Spider-Man, your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, is going to fall around the Miss Marvel tier. Like,
that strangely makes sense.
Like, yeah, like watchable, maybe, a couple fun moments, cute, but ultimately, pretty mid and forgettable. But maybe there'll be a few bright spots. I don't have high hopes for that one at all. I'm hoping it's not, we're not in Secret Invasion levels, but that trailer was definitely closer to Secret Invasion than it was to Miss Marvel. So I'm I'm hoping the actual episodes are substantially better than what it looks like in the trailer, because based on like some of the action parts are okay relatively to everything else, but the parts where they're actually talking, holy fuck, that might be that might be hard to get through. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely no Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. I'll tell you that. That was actually a really good animated Marvel project that wasn't X-Men 97. That I would recommend. That's actually pretty good. That show reminded me of Proud Family in some ways. Classic Proud Family, the old one. So I would definitely check out, if you're excited for Friendly Neighborhood, I'd say watch the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, because I think that's going to be a substantially better show than Friendly Neighborhood. But let's get Jay out of here. Any before we go, any New Year's resolutions? Do you do those?
Eat more Chinese food.
More Chinese food?
Yes.
Right.
Because that's what we do on New Year's Eve. We have Chinese food, so that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Interesting. I've been eating a lot of anime food lately. I've been trying to find stuff from that usually pop up in anime and trying out for the first time, because I have an H Mart near me. So I like to order some Asia stuff. So today I had I've been having onigiri, which are the like fried rice balls, really good. And I decided to switch it up. I got today I had those bao pork buns, and in Squid Games they one of the episodes they had that sweet bread that they sell, and usually see in anime. They usually sell them at convenience stores or at lunch, or the characters will have it at lunch. They're like these little packages. You can get a little individual package of bread, and it's got they'll have some kind of sweet sauce or something stuffed inside it, like a red bean paste or cream or something like that. So I tried some of that for the first time. Really good. I think I had the red bean and the chocolate cream one today. Absolutely delicious. And then I had some karagi, which is the Japanese style fried chicken. Love it. Definitely pairs very well with anime, especially get a little chilled oolong tea to go with it. Perfect weeb experience. Highly 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. I hit most of my resolutions this year. The one thing I got to improve on, I still didn't publish my book. So I want to move that to 2025. I can't retire yet. I don't have enough money to retire yet, so still working towards that. And I still want to lose more weight.
Yeah, I mean, there's always those things.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I've lost about 70 pounds this year.
Nice.
But I know I could have lost more.
Yeah.
The most I've lost in a year is 120 pounds.
Oh wow.
So I'm moving my weight loss goals to next year. I want to lose more weight. I want to get back down to my basketball playing weight.
Me too. My brother just moved out, so he's in the process. Like, he's living at his new apartment and still has a lot of his stuff here. So I do want to like do something with that space. So no, you're good. You're a good judge. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I want to like clean out and get rid of a lot of stuff.
Clean out your closet.
Yeah, like I just want to like sell off a lot of stuff and get a little bit more in control, and like there's just stuff overflowing everywhere and I don't need all this, and I would like to like pare down a lot of my stuff, I guess. Nice. And we'll see from there.
That's good. Yeah. So I definitely got a lot of junk I need to clear out as well. So yeah, I'll put a few more priority goals together. In terms of the channel, I would love to hit 200,000 subs next year. That could be nice, but yeah, I'm not ready to shoot for 1 million yet. That seems unlikely.
I think 200K.
Yeah, I'm close to. I'm relatively close to 200K. I think I'm like almost halfway there. But yeah, 1 million is a lot. That'd be insane subscriber growth for 1 year. I'm not gonna shoot that high, but I think 300K is a reasonable upper limit for 1 year, but hit 200K, publish my book, lose more weight, kind of tidy some stuff up, make enough money to retire. We'll throw that for 2025. But I'm looking forward to it. Could be one of the best years or the best year for gaming ever. With GTA 6, Ghost of Yotei, Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, Crimson Desert, Borderlands 4, Mafia: The Old Country, Civ, New Civ, Assassin's Creed Shadows, completely stacked 2025. Looking forward to diving into all that. But we appreciate you coming along for the ride, everyone. It's been another fun year. It's craziest. What's this year 3 for me as a content creator?
Year 15 for me. On YouTube anyway. He's
the LeBron James of YouTube. We love it. Well, looking forward to more cool shit in 2015. Hope everyone is safe. Don't get into too much trouble over New Year's. I know people get rowdy that time of year. Best to sit back, watch Squid Game season 2 Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, some good anime, eat some Chinese food like Jay, just have a good time, and stay out of trouble. Thank you all once again for a awesome year supporting the channel, all of us individually as well. If you haven't already, subscribe to my other channel. It's now my third channel, Sadat the Gamer Live. I'm going to be doing some different live content on there, non-superhero stuff, and posting my rants and what have you on there from my streams that usually only people who are there get to see. So gonna put some of those, start putting more of those up as well. Appreciate everyone. I'm Sadat the Gamer.
I am not Casual Avenger. Zip
it up and zip it out. And we also got to get some more. We got to get some more of these. We got to upgrade these. For 20.
The enemies call me Namor.
He's trying to do something, I think.
I'm just running down the.
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning?
The sounds we have. Last time I'll get to use them in 2024, and this is the last one you'll hear. Peace out, everybody.
I don't hear anything.